We have Rajeev Jain, Managing Director of Bajaj Finance, now joining us. Rajeev, hi, good afternoon. 69% growth in terms of profit in Indian GAAP, and as per Ind AS, about 81%. A part of the market is getting scared with these kind of numbers. For how long can you continue to deliver these numbers? Your thoughts?
Yeah. So look, we are organized to, as a business construct, to grow at between 25 and 27% balance sheet growth and a 20 to 25% net income growth. I have said that consistently over the last 10 years. In addition, I have said that, however, if the opportunity represents itself in the market and without increasing risk, we can seize that opportunity. We have enough capital to ensure that we seize that opportunity. So that's really the outcome of this. You should know that at a broader level, microeconomy is looking at its reasonably stronger momentum that we have seen in the last at least 18-24 months. And given the large franchise that we have of 28 million customers, and given the given no baggage that we have or risk as a company, we are very well positioned to seize that opportunity. So that would be my response. I mean, we are not growing business with increasing risk. We are actually growing business with reducing risk. If you look at the gross NPA, net NPA data that we published, it's coming lower on a year-on-year basis, despite a 39% balance sheet growth on a year-on-year basis. So we are growing responsibly, is really how I would respond.
Okay. Rajeev, give more granular details. Can you share more granular details about your assets under management growth of 35% this time? It's been slower as compared to, say, this past 6 quarters, but barely. It's still within that range of 35 to 40-odd%. But what's driving that growth, and where exactly is the investment coming through in the next couple of quarters?
So the core growth actually is 39%. I mean, last year, same quarter, we had a 3-day IPO financing book happened to be sitting there at the quarter end. So the core growth, first of all, is 39%. We have issued that as part of our press release as well. So that's one point. Growth overall has been quite granular. Our consumer B2B businesses grew 27%. Our B2C business, which is cross-sell to them, grew 40%. Rural business of ours grew 75%, albeit on a low base. Our SME lending business, post-Demon, post-GST, in the first quarter grew the strongest that it has grown in the last 8 quarters, grew at 42%. Our commercial business, again low base, but grew 60%. Mortgage business, which is a separate subsidiary now, grew 27%. So as you can see, the balance sheet growth is reasonably granular. It's across categories and across product segments. There's no one trick pony sitting there.
Okay, so in terms of this AUM growth, Rajeev, what's going to be the trajectory now from here on? Because this quarter is slightly lower than what the market thought it would be. I mean, you explained that, but from here on, what would be the trajectory?
Yeah, so So I think, as I said, a 25-27% balance sheet growth should happen. Now you're right. In first quarter, it is, as I said, core growth is 39%. I think it should become much more clearer as we fly through Q2. I think a much greater clarity on full year guidance for balance sheet growth should become much more clearer by end of Q2.
Rajeev, how are cost of funds looking this quarter? You had your net interest margins maintained at 11-odd%. Based on the current cost of funds in terms of where yields are, do you expect it to sustain?
So company continues to manage its ALM judiciously, given the hardening in the bond markets. In general, money is dearer. It's not so far because of prudent management of ALM, it's not so far flowing through to the P&L on one side. On the other side, the pass-through, given the competitive intensity or transmission, has not been in line with how the wholesale market has become dearer by. We are watching it carefully. We have increased rates in some of the businesses marginally so far. I think it's very clear that transmission will have to happen. We are headed to a higher interest rate environment given where the inflationary data is showing up. For next quarter, this quarter should be fine as well, but as we pass through, you may see some degree of compression in third quarter and the fourth quarter.
Let's just dwell a bit more on that mortgage part as well, where the growth has been 27%. Of course, there's been high bond borrowing costs as well. So has it been a conscious decision? I'm referring to only this part. And going forward, do we see the growth go back to the previous few quarters?
So look, mortgage business was subsidiarized into a separate company in February 18. It's under, it has its independent CEO and a management team. Given that they separated from BFL just in February, they are organizing themselves for and creating a platform for growth. We are quite excited about the business from a next 3 to 5 year standpoint. We expect that as the management starts to get its arm around, and it is not a small business, it's already a 26,000 crore business, from a size standpoint, it should be much better position for growth sometime either by the fourth quarter or definitely into the next year. But they will take time to just create a platform for growth over the next 3 to 4 quarters and then start to grow much more rapidly.
Rajeev?
Opportunity remains immense. It's very competitive.
Okay. Rajeev, a quick last question from me then. In terms of the asset quality, you've always been very benign in terms of your asset quality, and that's maintained this time round as well. But are there any chinks that you're seeing within any of your segments?
We said as part of our investor presentation release that, like we had said in Q4, that portfolio quality remains at record best. I would make the same statement for Q1 as well. So far, none. We take pride in the fact that we are able to do early problem recognition and act without chasing growth. And we continue to maintain that orientation as a company. Exiting Q1, no, is what my response would be.
All right, Rajeev, always a pleasure talking to you. Thanks a lot for your time today.